Welcome back. The L&T Finance stock has not reacted positively to the numbers, but the numbers didn't look too bad. The collection efficiency was decent. Margin expansion expectedly was good because everybody's margins are going to look better. Let's invite Dinanath Dubashi, the Managing Director and CEO at L&T Finance. Dinanath, the disbursals growth has been better than past many quarters, and AUM has grown after 4 quarters. What are your guidance on both this, disbursals, AUM?
Yes, disbursements has been the PAT growth that we spoke about 10% from last year. Disbursements and good disbursement has been a main factor, but also other factors has been good fees, very good performance on liquidity and cost of funds, and obviously maintaining the asset quality. So these are the overall. It has been has contributed to the good performance. I will talk specifically about disbursements. Let's first talk about rural. Rural, there has been an upsurge in demand in the industry itself. Confluence of two factors. One is structural factors. Generally good well-being of farmers with lots of government schemes, free toilets, free gas, insurance, medical, which means that money in the hands of the farmer goes more for discretionary spending. So that is good. And you see that across. You see that in FMCG, in tractors, in motorcycles, everywhere. Number two, seasonal factors like good rainfall for 3 years, good reservoir levels, excellent kharif price. Rabi is sowing 5% or 4% more than last year. So lots of a confluence of structural and seasonal factors have helped overall rural demand. And then we come in where we have used lots of data analytics to pinpoint and done I would say, very pinpoint bombing rather than carpet bombing. Where to do business, which dealers, which model, which has helped us gain and maintain market share, gain till Q2 and then maintain subsequently, which has led to this excellent, I think the disbursement in both tractors and two-wheelers has been our all-time best quarter.
Hey, that's good to hear. All-time best quarter. You have an approval for fundraising as well, up to 3,000 crores via the rights issue. Can you give us a timeline of when is it likely to be launched?
That the meeting is scheduled in the evening, and only after that, that time it will be public information. I will be able to speak about it after.
Okay, we'll come back to you then on that. While your collection efficiency was strong, what would it be on a cumulative basis? If you can just give us a breakup of the moratorium book now.
As you see, my NPA numbers have gone up slightly to, or in fact come down, right? Yeah, 5.19 to 5.12 quarter on quarter. So largely remained the same gross NPA. Net NPA has slightly gone up from about 1.6 odd to 1.9. So that's where we believe things are better. Collection efficiencies, as you rightly asked, farm collection efficiencies are actually better than pre-COVID level. Two-wheeler collection efficiency is back to pre-COVID levels. If you take, and I will talk about two specific businesses in a minute, but if you take the wholesale businesses like real estate or like infrastructure, excellent collections are happening.
Okay. Wait, Dinanath, I wanted to ask you about your provisions. You know, your return on equity has been tepid largely because of high provisions. Why were they on the higher side if your collections are so good?
This quarter, frankly, we have not created anything more on stage 1, stage 2. We have not used from the previous stage 1, stage 2 substantially. So that is number one. So the worry is not ended, but more worries are not coming. And because of that, we have not created anything more on stage 1, stage 2. So that is the first clarification. Out of the provision that you see, about 144 crores is we have taken further provisions for our one housing finance company exposure. As you know that the resolution there is out around the corner, and hence whatever was the gap between our unprovided portion and resolution money, we have largely provided that. So that is also done and dusted. As far as ROE is concerned, at this point of time, frankly, we are not too concerned about that. We are concerned about, though we are very ROE focused, no doubt about that. But I don't think this year is the year to too much worry about that. This year is to make sure that you remain liquid, you remain solvent, you maintain your excellent market positions, and make sure that asset quality remains excellent. And when all this is there, the moment all the vestiges of COVID and the problems go away, we will come back to excellent health.
Okay. Yes, we are all hoping for that, aren't we? Thank you very much, Dina Dabashi, for joining us. We'll quickly go through the financials of L&T Finance, starting with the net interest income. This is the past 3 years. So just to give you a backdrop. That's net interest income. It'll not look so good for FY21. Obviously, we have 3 quarters, but it's not been that great for FY21. That's profit after tax coming up for you. And I think margin also can come up. Margin. Okay.
Okay. Well, getting back to the markets, actually getting a bit ugly now for the broader markets. The mid-cap index is down 330 points and a lot of stocks are coming in for profit taking. Not